Ayun na nga, koolNews Primetime na po. Pero sa iyong server ay magsisimula.
You are listening to live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews Prime Time.
From the This is koolNews Prime Time. I'm Dream Karaoke. And topping our news tonight, and continuation of the coverage of the U.S. elections 2024. And of course, going to show you the official results from our Associated Press and Google. Their supposedly coverage. And as you can see, as of 9 p.m. GMT plus 8, of course, the time zone, you can see the presidential results that the Associated Press has called this race that Donald Trump wins with a total of 277, which is 51% of all of the votes, and 224 for President supposedly Kamala Harris with 66 million votes, 47.5. And you can see all of the states here appearing here that nearly all of the states are aiming for President Donald Trump. And you can see here the list with 277 electoral votes, 277 for Donald Trump, 224 for electoral votes for Kamala Harris. Then the remaining has 0 votes. Supposedly down there we have nearly half a million votes. And you can see here from the key races, you can see here that the one of the races in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and you can see that there are nearly 56.1, and all of them are nearly 100% reporting on the votes, and most of the front runners are Donald Trump. You can see meanwhile on the U.S. Senate, as you can see all of the checks here, we got Rick Scott, Tim Sheehy, Deb Fisher, Bernie Moreno, Ted Cruz, and hold on, I'm going to landscape it so we can see. So Rick Scott, Angela Alsobrooks, Tim Sheehy, Deb Fisher, Bernie Moreno, and Ted Cruz have with the check mark at the side. For the U.S. House, we have Zach Nunn for the Republican Party with 51.9% with 99% reporting. That is our supposedly overview for the elections, and you can let's check our results. For the president, of course, 277 for Trump, 224 for Harris. For the Senate, for the GOP and the Democratic, we have 52. Wait. There you go. 52. With the GOP, 52, gained 3 seats. For the Democratic, we got 42 and lost 3 seats. And you can see all of the states that how many have the results. So for the Republican, 52 seats, Democratic 41 seats, and the others have only 1 seat. For the House, for the Republican, we have 198, and Democratic 180. And null for the others. For the governor, the Republican has 27, Democratic with 23, and none for the others. And you can see the states have 1. for the ballot measures that we have found kanina, that is, all of them are reported to Donald Trump with at least around the 56% margin. Rick Scott with 55.6, and the remaining, you can see the results. Same here for the US House. Zach Nunn has the check mark with 51.9%, and that's our update for the US elections for you on koolNews Primetime. Now for our top story for tonight. Of course, hold on. Trump wins the White House in political comeback rooted in appeals to frustrated voters. Donald Trump was elected the 47th President of the United States on Wednesday, an extraordinary comeback for a former president who refused to accept defeat 4 years ago. Sparked a violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, was convicted of felony charges and survived 2 assassination attempts. With a win in Wisconsin, Trump cleared with 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. The victory validates his bare-knuckle approach to politics. He attacked his Democratic rival Kamala Harris in deeply personal, often misogynistic and racist terms as he pushed an apocalyptic picture of a country overrun by violent margins. Supposedly violent migrants. There's an advertisement. The coarse rhetoric paired with the image of hypermasculinity resonated with angry voters, particularly men, in a deeply polarized nation. And here's a statement coming from Trump himself. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. We have been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers and to deliver a victory. This was something special, and we're going to pay you back. That's coming from President Trump. In his second term, Trump has vowed to pursue an agenda centered on dramatically reshaping the federal government and pursuing retribution against his perceived enemies. The results cap a historically tumultuous and competitive election season that included 2 assassination attempts, targeting Trump and a shift to a new Democratic nominee just a month before the party's convention. Trump will inherit a range of challenges when he assumes office on January 20, including heightened political polarization and global crises that are testing America's influence abroad. His win against Harris, the first woman of color to lead a major party ticket, marks the second time he has defeated a female rival in a general election. Harris, which is the current vice president, rose to the top of the ticket after Joe Biden exited the race amid alarm about his advanced age. Despite an initial surge of energy around her campaign, she struggled during the compressed timeline to convince disillusioned voters that she represented a break from an unpopular administration. The vice president has not publicly spoken since the race was called. Her campaign chair, Cedric Richmond, said that she would speak Wednesday, that she will be back here tomorrow. Trump is the first former president to return to power since Grover Cleveland regained the White House in the 1892 election, and he is the first person convicted of a felony to be elected president, and at 78 is the oldest person elected to the office. His vice president, 40-year-old Ohio Senate J.D. Vance, will become the highest-ranking member of the millennial generation in the U.S. government. Congratulations started pouring in for world leaders even before Trump's victory was announced. There will be far fewer checks on Trump when he returns to the White House, and he has plans to swiftly enact a sweeping agenda that will transform nearly every aspect of American government. His GOP critics in Congress have largely been defeated or retired. Federal courts are now filled with judges he appointed, and the U.S. Supreme Court, which includes 3 Trump-appointed justices, issued a ruling earlier this year affording presidents broad immunity from prosecution. Trump's language and behavior during the campaign sparked growing warnings from Democrats and some Republicans about shocks to democracy that his return to power would bring. He repeatedly praised strongman leaders, warned that he would deploy the military to target political opponents he labeled the enemy from within. Threatened to take action against news organizations, to take action against for unfavorable coverage, and suggested suspending the Constitution. He seized on frustrations over high prices and fears about crime and migrants who illegally entered the country on Biden's watch. He also highlighted wars in the Middle East and Russia's invasion of Ukraine to cast Democrats as presiding over and encouraging a world in chaos. When he arrived in Washington 2017, Trump knew little about the levers of federal power. His agenda was stymied by Congress and the courts, as well as senior staff members who took it upon themselves to serve as guardrails. This time, Trump has said he would surround himself with loyalists who will enact his agenda, no questions asked, and who will arrive with hundreds of draft executive orders, legislative proposals, and in-depth policy papers in hand. Meanwhile, on our national news tonight, Meralco franchise renewal bill hurdles House. The House of Representatives has overwhelmingly approved on third and final reading the bill seeking a new 25-year franchise for Meralco, which is the country's biggest power distributor. The proposed franchise extension, embodied in House Bill number 10926, garnered 186 affirmative votes during the plenary session, which is Wednesday, and only 7 House members opposed the final passage of the HB number 10926, while 4 Solons abstained during nominal voting. With a majority vote, Deputy Speaker Antipolo City 1st District Representative Roberto Puno declared the measure as passed on the third reading. It was only September 24 that the measure was approved on the second reading. Only a simple voice vote was needed for this. The measure is a consolidation of HB number 9793, 9813, and 10317, all of which seek an early extension to Meralco's franchise, which is scheduled to expire in 2028. Meanwhile, Albay's 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda, one of the authors of the bill, was one who sponsored HB number 10926 in plenary. According here to Representative Salceda, Meralco's mandates under its current franchise were clear. It has met these mandates since its franchise merits renewal. The second and third reading approval of HB 10926 was separated by Congress' 6-week recess. Congressional sessions resumed only last Monday, which is in November 4. There's more news coming right up, as more news and more entertainment news and coming right up at koolNews Primetime. It is now 9:13.
Ma, paglaki ko, gusto kong maging basketball player.
Game! Oh, star rice at gulay ka pa na. May star margarine yan.
Ubus ko na. Meron pa po ba, Ma?
Parang basketball player ka na kumain na.
Slam dunk sa sarap eh.
Dagdag sustansya up with Star Margarine tulad ng vitamins A, B, E, and iodine. Star Margarine, mas abot ang pangarap. Sabayan ng tamang diet and exercise.
Where does your power really come from?
Power to learn.
Power to cure. Power to create.
Power to connect with loved ones.
Hello!
Mom!
At Aboitiz Power, we aim to provide reliable and sustainable energy. Powering you and life. Aboitiz Power. We power you.
Barbie Forteza po. And I believe ang taong sa pera ay wais, ang skin pwede pa rin kuminis. And I thank you. Suka Papaya papaya lotion. Dahil 750 pesos SRP lang, giving na ang papaya enzymes niya. Affordable skincare, di ba? Kaya kung bet mo ay kutis na lit, sa Silka Papaya Lotion kumapit. With regular use, slay it with the skin na giving. Stay lit with Silka. With regular use for only 750 pesos SRP.
Want awesome TV? You don't need 175 reasons to get it. You just need 175 in load. With Signal Load 175, you can boost your entertainment experience without breaking the bank. Enjoy 30 days of free-to-air, plus premium local and international channels like PBO and Cinemo, Cartoon Network, Nick Jr., Rock Entertainment, Tap Sports, and many more for just 175 pesos. What are you waiting for? Load through Maya or GCash and start watching today.
Yo, it's the Saint himself, Dwight Ramos.
Hey yo, Jeremiah, what are you having?
Alam mo na, yung Primera Klase.
Primera Light Brandy.
Primera Classic Night. From Spain, award-winning premium blend.
Smooth. Now this is our Primera Classic Brandy. Primera Light Brandy. Dahil Primera Classic ka.
Drink responsibly.
Pag crispy pata ang ulam ni Bunso, masakit daw sa ngipin. Aray! Pag laging nagdo-toothbrush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, ang tibay ng ngipin ko! Versus non-fluoride calcium carbonate toothpaste, Colgate, ngiping matibay. Ngiping palaban with regular use.
Hindi birong maging isang ina. Dapat hands-on ka sa maraming bagay, lalo na sa mga iniinom na gamot. Dapat ready ka. Kaya kapag may sakit sa pamilya ko, gaya ng sakit ng ulo, sakit sa katawan na may kasamang lagnat dulot ng sipon, allergic rhinitis o sinusitis, Simdex D ang ipinapainom ko. Gamot laban sa sintomas ng trangkaso. Simdex D is available in Mercury Drug Stores and other drug stores near you. Phenylpropanolamine hydrochloride malate paracetamol is the generic name of Simdex D. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Also available, Simdex D Syrup for kids and Simdex D Forte for adults.
Pabili po ng 2 Nor Chicken Cubes.
O eto,
Ha? Isa lang po to ah.
doble yan.
Ang Nor Cubes ay may doble-doble. Nor Cubes doble. 2 for 10 lang yan. Sulit na sulit. Mapapaulit. Nor Cubes doble pack.
Ang sarap-sarap ng doble-doble with Nor Cubes Doble Pack. 2 cubes for 10 pesos SRP lang.
Also available in pork.
Promo lasts from January 2, 2024 to January 1, 2025 per DOH FDA CRR permit number 1589 series of 2023.
Discover one by one, Pinas nagiganda. Ano man ang trip, sigurado worth the trip. Isa-isahin na. Discover one by one, let's fly everyone.
Ohio! Don't you love it when good mornings start like this? Then like this. And then, wait for it.
A morning cup of soup?
Yes, soup. Try new Ajinomoto Soup and Go and make it your new morning habit. Comes in creamy corn, creamy potato, or creamy pumpkin. Great with bread too.
Ohio Soup and Go. Ajinomoto.
Happy puting Pasko from Sir.
Sir puti-puti daw.
2 minutes lang, instant puti na. Sir instant bango. Sir instant puti.
Based on internal technical tests and cotton after 1 wash. Results may vary.
Sir puti-puti na. Buong pamilya ko.
Sir.
Sing it along to the music. Cool FM.
It's 9:19. Continuing our koolNews Primetime is now 9:19 with this. 16-year-old boy companion arrested for possession of shabu and marijuana in Taguig. Police arrested 16-year-old boy and a 27-year-old man after they were found in possession of shabu and marijuana in Taguig on November 5. Police officers from the Taguig Police Substation 4 when conducting foot patrol in Bagong Silang in Barangay Tuktukan when they saw a group of men engaging in suspicious activities. The arrested suspects are identified as alias Kambal, age 27, and a 16-year-old boy. A third suspect, identified as alias Mark, evaded arrest. When the police approached the group when they discovered and seized illegal substances, and the following confiscated 50 grams of suspected shabu valued at 240,000 pesos, and 25 grams of dried leaves suspected to be marijuana worth 3,000 pesos. The police also found 3 plastic sachets containing 9.6 grams of shabu valued at 65,280 pesos. And in total, the police seized 408,280 pesos worth of illegal drugs, which will be turned over to the Southern Police District Forensic Unit for laboratory analysis. And of course, a violation of the Republic Act 9165, which is a Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, is being prepared by the police. Brigadier General Bernard Young, SPD Director, commended the patrol officers for the arrest. In a separate operation, the SPD arrested a 15-year-old girl and a 27-year-old man after they yielded 4 million pesos worth of shabu during a bypass operation at a mall in Taguig. Also on the same date. Also in the news tonight, DepEd sets November 27 as Araw ng Pagbasa or the National Reading Day. This year's National Reading Day or Araw ng Pagbasa is rescheduled for November 27 according to DepEd. The schedule is based on DepEd's Order Number 9, Series of 2024 or the implementing guidelines for the school calendar activities for school year 2024-2025. In previous years, the Araw ng Pagbasa, observed by the public schools nationwide, served as a culminating activity for National Reading Month, or the NRM, which is a month-long event celebrated each November. Is a part of DepEd's efforts to foster a reading culture and enhance literacy skills among Filipino youth. And here's coming from Media Relations Chief from the Office of DepEd Secretary Sonia Angara. Dennis Segaspi noted that the issuance of the 2024 NRM celebration guidelines is being finalized. While the DepEd Central Office has yet to release specific guidelines for this year's NRM celebration, some DepEd Schools Division offices have issued memoranda on the event. The Schools Division of Baybay City in Region 8, for example, issued guidelines on October 28 for the 2024 National Reading Month celebration or the Pambansang Buwan at Araw ng Pagbasa, as well as the 90th National Book Week. That was the list of activities was recommended for the NRM celebration. The schools were also reminded to adhere to the policies that regulate learner and teacher participation in curricular and extracurricular activities to ensure that classes are not sacrificed and that learning recovery measures are fully implemented. The month-long activity includes the division's initiatives to improve and enhance learners' reading performance, aligned with the priorities of the National Learning Recovery Program or the NLRP. Among the suggested activities is a school-level National Reading Month kick-off where all school administrations and teachers can serve as the mystery readers of a Filipino children's storybook during the flag raising ceremony. Other proposed activities include book donation drives, peer-to-peer reading programs, setting up reading pantries where materials are accessible to all, book talk sessions where learners share their favorite books, readathons, and poster-making activities during art classes. And of course, DepEd, declared November as the National Reading Month to DepEd's Memorandum number 244 series of 2011, signed by former DepEd Secretary Armin Luistro. The memo also established Araw ng Pagbasa during elementary and secondary students from both public and private schools participate in storytelling sessions, reading list preparations, reader training, and readership development program. Schools and learning centers are encouraged to hold various activities for NRM, which may include a reading camp, highlighting pupils' talents in communication, arts, through competitions, and a readathon to foster a reading culture among students and identify the most outstanding individual and team readers in public elementary schools. Also in the news tonight, Marcos expands 29 peso rice program and increases Kadiwa centers. In a Facebook post on Tuesday night, the chief executive underscored the need to ensure the supply of affordable rice for all Filipinos, which is coming from the Department of Agriculture and the National Irrigation Administration. According here to Chief Executive, that we called on the Department of Agriculture and the National Irrigation Administration to meet with us for a single agenda to ensure every Filipino family has access to affordable rice. Aside from expanding the government's 29 peso rice for all program, the President also asked the DA and the DBM to increase the Central of Kadiwa ng Pangulo centers from 21 to 300 by mid-2025. And according here to Marcos, excuse me, this will bring affordable rice within reach for more communities across the country. During the palace meeting, the DA requested the President to fund the rehabilitation and repair of warehouses for potential Kadiwa sites for an estimated 600 Kadiwa stores nationwide. The expanded sites will be selling rice for all at 43 pesos per kilogram or less, with selected stores to sell 29 peso rice depending on the stock availability, which is according here to the statement, which is for the stock availability of the 29 peso rice and 43 peso per kilogram rice from the PCO or the Presidential Communications Office. Marcos, of course, likewise instructed the Department of Finance and the National Economic and Development Authority to address rising input costs and climate impacts that affect food prices. This is a unified effort to support our farmers and keep rice prices within reach for every Filipino family. And here's our entertainment news. Our entertainment news, hold on. Here's our entertainment news. Miss Universe organization disqualifies Miss Panama, Italy Mora, for leaving the room. Miss Panama, Italy Mora, has broken her silence on her controversial exit from the Miss Universe 2024 competition in Mexico City. One day after she withdrew from the competition, Italy issued an official statement on Instagram in Spanish, which other pageant sites translated. Italy said her withdrawal from the pageant concerns leaving the room. While preparing for the gala evening, the organization informed me that I should leave the competition. And she said here that I was told that this measure was taken due to failure to comply with leaving the room, which I admit occurred when putting on makeup and collecting personal items. Unfortunately, I trusted and followed instructions without warning. However, I consider it a severe measure and could have been resolved with a dialogue or a call to attention instead. And the rumor said that Mora allegedly fought with another candidate. Another rumor claimed that Mora repeatedly went on a date with her boyfriend when she arrived in Mexico for the competition. And suddenly, the boyfriend denied the rumors. Meanwhile, the National Director for Miss Universe Panama, Cesar Rodriguez, made a reaction to the withdrawal of Mora and refused to reveal the reason for Mora's withdrawal for her protection. Rodriguez also asked the public not to judge her and attack her. And according here from the Miss Universe organization, the disciplinary committee charged with maintaining the integrity and values of the pageant conducted a full audit of the matter and based on the information gathered and reviewed, has concluded that withdrawal is the most appropriate course of action under the current circumstances. And also, Italy thanked her fans who supported her in the Miss Universe 2024 journey. Before we end our program, here's our final quote tonight from James O'Barr. If the people we love are stolen from us, the way to have them live on is to never stop loving them. That's our final quote tonight from James O'Barr. And that is it for koolNews Primetime. Thank you very much for your unwavering trust and support. And for more news and information, keep it right here at Cool FM. And also for more news and information, and for more concerns, of course, please email us at tvh@philippines.news@gmail.com. Join us again tomorrow for Cool News at noon at 12 in the afternoon. From the station that cares for you, I'm Dream Car Karaoke, and you've been listening to Cool FM. Have a good evening, stay safe, and take care. Good night, and mabuhay. It's now exactly 9:30, continuing Hangout with Mamon. This is home. This is Cool News.
This is home.